nicely. As a kind civilian that also knows how to manipulate cops. You're listening in on my conversations, aren't you? Oh. So, we can do this the nice way, or we can do it the hard way and I can release my bipolar.
This is Russell Pierce Jones, too. He was involved in a conspiracy to commit murder and attempted robbery. He was one of the individuals connected to the tragic death of Aaron Friar, a Medford father.
Let's make a deal. 1, thanks for the food. 2, I see Ellie and Gavin because they are both under my protection. 3, before you release Ellie to her parents, or parent, do a background check as well as a DNA test, as well as, well, not DNA, a drug test. And if you find out that her parent, her mom, is in fact doing drugs, you are to release her to me. Tell him to release Gavin. And Ellie, thank you. And I know I'm being recorded. You can keep that on there. Unless you're a nice cop, then I take it back. But if you're one of those two-timing, donut-eating piece of crap that don't like rules, a high school bully with a badge, I'm sorry, buddy, but I eat high school bullies for breakfast. So, you want the whole story? Make a deal, or I let out my bipolar. Your choice.
On October 2nd, 2017, Aaron Friar's girlfriend called 911 around 6:45 a.m. to report that her boyfriend and his oldest daughter, 15-year-old Ellie, were missing. Aaron's other 2 daughters had called her after they woke up and found blood in their home, and their father and sister gone. When Medford police spoke to Friar's other daughters, an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old, the older child had more to share about what happened. She woke up to her dad yelling and the sound of something crashing at 5 a.m., said the police. Later, the child comes out to the living room and goes to the couch and puts her hand on the couch, and when she takes her hand away, it's bloody. She turned on the light and was shocked because there was blood everywhere. The 11-year-old also told police that she'd heard a familiar voice in the living room that night, Gavin MacFarlane, her sister's 19-year-old boyfriend. Aaron would tell me that the guy is a bad seed and not a good influence on Ellie because Ellie was doing very well in school, a friend of Aaron Friar's said. She was doing band and everything, but I think Gavin held her back. A month before he went missing, police learned Aaron Friar had forbidden his daughter and MacFarlane from dating. MacFarlane had also called police and claimed that Friar was at his home, threatening to unalive him. Ellen Friar was 15 years old when she planned with her 19-year-old boyfriend to unalive her father. According to court documents, Ellen Friar was dating 19-year-old Gavin Curtis MacFarlane, and needless to say, her father was not happy. Ellen Friar, along with her boyfriend Gavin and 22-year-old Russell Pierce Jones too, would plan the brutal unalive. The father, Aaron Friar, would be beaten to death with a baseball bat. A month prior to his disappearance, authorities discovered that Aaron Friar had prohibited his daughter and MacFarlane from dating. MacFarlane had also contacted the police, alleging that Friar had visited his residence and threatened harm. As the police initiated a search for MacFarlane, an officer observed him, Ellen Friar, and 22-year-old Russell Jones too walking down the street. All 3 were taken to the police station for questioning. During a recorded police interview, Ellie asserted that her father had been abusive. She explained, "My parents are very controlling. My dad is very abusive verbally, emotionally. And on a few occasions, when I did something he didn't like, he would grab me right here," indicating her throat, and pin me against the wall. Ellie claimed she had planned to run away and was waiting for MacFarlane and Jones to pick her up when Jones arrived with a machete. "Russell Jones attacked my father," she stated in the police interview. "I guess my dad woke up and Jones attacked. As soon as I heard screaming, I ran." However, the police were skeptical of her account.
Did you help at all?
No. I did help try to clean up a little bit in the inside, though.
What did you do?
I got a towel and I kind of soaked up the big puddle of blood by the door.
Mm-hmm. And tell me, what is the first thing somebody says when you get in the car?
can't believe we actually did that.
Who said that?
Mike.
Okay.
And then I said the same thing.
How'd you guys feel?
We were all kind of on an adrenaline rush.
Mm-hmm. You had adrenaline rush?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And how were you showing that?
I was actually pretty calm, but I felt pretty, kind of explosive inside.
Mm-hmm. And again, I mean, it's kind of not the biggest deal in the world, but Gavin is saying that you really threw that bat. Like, you threw that hard. Okay. Thank you for being honest. What did you kick with your leg?
I didn't kick anything with my leg.
Okay.
It's just weird tan lines.
Okay. Thank you for being honest with me.
What did you talk to your sisters about?
About how I said I'd be leaving, and I'll come back to see them.
Okay. I mean, how did that make you feel, having that conversation with your two little sisters?
It hurt to leave them, but I felt like I was going to a better place.
Did they hear anything?
Probably.
What did you guys think was going to happen?
We thought that if we lay low and we just kept ourselves locked in the house, we wouldn't be found out, since nobody knew where he lived.
And someone knew where
Gavin lived.
A welfare check was carried out by Medford Police Department officers at a residence located in the 500 block of Benson Street on October 2, 2017. According to the police, there were signs of a disturbance, but no one was at the residence, and the resident's car was gone. At 9:52 a.m., the car was eventually discovered abandoned in the 100 block of Mariposa Terrace. 3 persons who were thought to be connected to the case were discovered strolling down Barnett Road close to Black Oak Drive an hour later. The police took them into custody. Police were then directed to the 9100 block of East Antelope Road by the investigation. Detectives discovered a man's body there that looked to have been thrown over a dirt embankment. Later on, it was discovered that the deceased was Aaron Friar, a 50-year-old resident of the house on Benson Street. At the time, authorities stated that they thought Friar's 15-year-old daughter Ellen Rose Friar, 19-year-old Gavin Curtis MacFarlane, 22-year-old Russell Pierce Jones II, had planned to live the girl's father, Aaron Friar. Ellie just wanted her dad out of her life so she could be with Gavin, said the police, and Gavin gets his buddy Russell involved in it. And Russell's the protector. But when police confronted Jones with Friar's story, he pointed the finger at Gavin MacFarlane, claiming MacFarlane used a baseball bat to live Aaron Friar. MacFarlane goes into the living room, beats the crap out of the guy. I walk through the front door, and I see a dead body, Jones said in a taped police interview. Jones claimed his only involvement was in helping MacFarlane move Aaron Friar's body out of the house. Together, they put him in a tarp, loaded him into the trunk of Friar's car, and then dumped the body. He led police to the body dump site and claimed the baseball bat found near the body was thrown there by Ellen Friar. When confronted with the discovery of the body and Jones' story, Gavin MacFarlane admitted to living his girlfriend's father. He said he'd known for 2 weeks that Ellen Friar was pregnant and that she'd recently told him her father was abusing her. I was just trying to protect Ellie, MacFarlane said in a taped police interview. That's what set me off. I was just really angry at that moment. The anger had just been building up because of the things that Ellie had been telling me. MacFarlane confessed to hitting Aaron Friar with a baseball bat and even demonstrated hitting him in interrogation footage. Gavin was loyal and kind of ride or die, a friend of MacFarlane said. He would go along with any sort of crazy plan. MacFarlane also claimed living her father was Ellen Friar's idea. She said, "Go out in the front room, take him out, and text me and let me know when it's done," MacFarlane said in a taped police interview. But Ellen Friar was not pregnant, according to police. There was also no evidence her father abused her or her 2 sisters. The following is the confession of Gavin MacFarlane.
Whose idea was it to cause harm to her dad? Who first brought it up?
She did.
Ellie brought it up?
She was the one who first wanted to.
You'll have to speak up a little bit, I can't hear.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. RJ was wanting to knock him out and then go take him out somewhere and then kill him.
RJ was?
That was what he was...
Did RJ ever talk about tying him up to a tree and having a stern talk with him?
He didn't tell me about that, no.
How would your plan be to take him out and kill him?
So what my plan would have been was, like, if we gotten, like, chloroform or whatever, I would have gone in, I would have, like, knocked everybody out with it or whatever.
Knocked everybody out? Who?
Well, she has sisters or his girlfriend, whoever was in the house.
Your plan was to use chloroform on all the kids and the girlfriend and him? Is Ellie kind of responsible for facilitating this bat thing?
Yes.
Was there any talk about getting a gun and just shooting him?
That's what RJ was wanting to do the entire time, but I was like, you're going to have to walk past him to get to the guns, and he's probably going to wake up before then.
Do you know the difference between right and wrong?
Yeah.
You do? Have you ever been diagnosed with any kind of mental disorders?
ADHD.
In October 2017, a baseball bat attacked Unalived 50-year-old Aaron Friar. The police said that his daughter Ellen Rose Friar, then 15 years old, her 19-year-old boyfriend Gavin Curtis MacFarlane, then 19, and 22-year-old Russell Pierce Jones II were the ones who orchestrated the crime. According to the prosecution, MacFarlane attacked the sleeping Friar with a baseball bat and then took his car, which he used to get the body to the place where it was discovered dumped by the side of a country road.
And I know this is going to be a little bit difficult to talk about, Gavin, but you got to be 100% honest and truthful with this. What happens next?
So then Ellie got out, and they waited in the car, and then...
Ellie went to the car?
Yeah.
Did she go out the window or the front door?
She went out the window.
Okay. In the car, are you talking about RJ and her?
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you that the car is seen on video on a surveillance camera at a neighbor's house, leaving at about 5:50 in the morning. If you're getting into the bedroom at about 2:30, you're talking about 3 hours until you guys leave. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Okay. That entire 3-hour time, what's going on inside the bedroom? I mean, what's the purpose of waiting so long?
We were trying to wait for him to fall asleep again so that we could get out.
Okay.
And then he starts to wake up, and I just acted on instinct, and I don't know what I was doing.
Next, Gavin does something unexpected.
I know you are, and I know this is difficult. And that's what we're
trying to help. Sorry.
Details on MacFarlane's alleged assistance in moving the body were not provided by the DA's office. A warrant was served in Medford's 20 block of Almond Street throughout the inquiry. There, authorities discovered a written plan that described Jones' father's intended death as well as the demise of Friar. MacFarlane ultimately entered a guilty plea to charges of murder, tampering with tangible evidence, and criminal conspiracy to commit murder. He received a life sentence without the chance of release until he had completed at least 25 years of incarceration. MacFarlane was also charged with third-degree statutory rape for having carnal knowledge with Ellen Friar, who was a minor. On January 4, 2019, Friar's daughter Ellen Rose Friar, who was being charged as an adult, pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit murder. She pleaded no contest to conspiracy to commit burglary in the first degree. April 2, 2019, Ellen Rose Friar was sentenced to 25 years for her role in the murder of her father back in 2017. Her charges include conspiracy to commit murder and conspiracy to commit burglary in the first degree. Jackson County judge sentenced Friar to a total of 300 months. Finally, on August 11, 2021, Russell Jones II entered no contest pleas to the crime of conspiracy to commit murder and attempted robbery. He was sentenced to 15 years behind bars with 2 years of post-prison supervision. A friend of Aaron Friar described him as a generous man who was always willing to lend a helping hand with home repairs. But others like Aaron Friar's girlfriend said there's no excuse for what she did. From what I witnessed, Aaron was a great dad. She could have thought of a million different things to do, running away included, Aaron Friar's girlfriend said. I think that they had this Romeo and Juliet situation where Ellie and Gavin wanted to be together, but everyone was telling them they couldn't be, said a classmate of Ellen Friar. Thanks for watching and let me know what you think. Leave a comment below. Click that like button and notification bell if you like the video.